everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me featuring some e.l.f. products that I would have recently hauled in a video. I've gone ahead and just primed my face with my favorite primer, the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Primer. This is their ultra light formula, and I'm going to be starting off with my eyes because I haven't ever worked with these eyeshadows and I don't know if there's going to be a ton of fallout, so I guess we will see. I'm really itching to use this huge 50-piece makeup artist palette that I wound up getting. It has an entire row of blushes, and then you can take that out and just kind of put it off to the side or whatever, and then it has an entire thing of eyeshadows which conveniently come out as well. So I'm going to be using some of these today just because I don't know if they're going to be super pigmented or not, and I'm really excited to play with them. So you guys know the drill. I have super dark circles, so first I'm just going to take my under eye concealer and pop that on my lids to provide a bit of extra coverage. Now I'm just priming my eyelids with my Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer, just because these eyeshadows might wind up needing a lot of help as far as like the pigmentation and lasting power department. So I want to give them the best chance of really showing up and providing a really good look. In case you can't tell, I'm fairly skeptical about this, but in initial swatches, I was fairly impressed, so I guess we're about to see. Using a Sigma E55, I'm going to take this kind of shimmery light taupe on it, and I'm going to use this all over the lid as obviously my lid color, and hopefully it will show up. I'm really excited and nervous simultaneously, and I can't open up this palette. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's really pigmented. Hey! That is probably one of the most beautiful taupes I've ever seen. I am so freaking excited right now. What the heck? I would have paid $7, which is totally what I paid for this entire palette for that eyeshadow alone. I'm so freaking excited right now. Okay, so now I think I'm going to go a bit darker, and on this dense brush, which I just kind of wiped off because I need to have a brush washing party, I'm going to take this kind of reddened brown. It's a little bit shimmery, but hopefully it won't get super muddy in the crease or anything like that. I am eating my words right now, you guys. This is amazeballs. One thing this is kind of lacking is a good matte kind of blending color for the crease. We're going to try this matte mauve. At least it looks matte. It might have a little bit of shimmer from the other colors, but it looks mostly matte. And I'm going to take this on a fluffy blending brush. It's kind of powdery on first kind of glance, I guess, but we'll see in a second. I'm just going to put this into the crease to try to blend everything out. It's not very noticeable, obviously, but I think it is really kind of helping to soften everything and make it blend more. Oh yeah, yeah, that's great. Oh my gosh. I do wish there was a matte light brown in here, just like a neutral light brown, but so far this is really, really impressing me, and all I've done is play with 3 eyeshadows. Taking a clean brush, I am just going to blend, not too terribly much, but just enough to clean everything up. I'm going to use my usual eyeliner just because I did not buy another one during this haul. This is the NYX Collection Noir Liquid Black Eyeliner, my favorite, and I'm just going to use this on the top lash line. So I guess totally false alarm about those eyeshadows. I had no fallout. They look absolutely gorgeous. I don't really have to do any cleaning up. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the rest of my face. First off, just concealing underneath the eyes with my under eye brightener. Also going to use my concealer just to conceal any hyperpigmentation or current acne marks, which I don't have too terribly many of current, you know, acne spots, but it is kind of getting close to that time of the month, so I am breaking out a little bit. This mirror is amazing, but the only thing is the palette is kind of heavy and it hurts to hold up after a while. Now I'm going to use one of my favorite foundations ever, which is the Revlon Nearly Naked. My color right now is Fresh Beige. Clearly this is a little bit too dark for my actual face, however I am fake tanned right now, so it's going to match my neck. Under the eyes, I'm just going to use a bit of NYX HD Photogenic Concealer in the fair shade. And I'm just going to use this as a bit of a highlight and also drag it down the center of my nose. To set that Mascara Under Eye Concealer. I have not tried this yet, but it is the e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. And it is just a loose white powder. And initially I opened this and I've never heard anyone mention this before, but it has a lot of like shimmer in it, which is a little bit confusing to me. And I guess we're about to see if it's any good. My brush is a little bit huge for that cap and it's like really messy. I'm just going to dab a bit on the back of my hand to make sure it's not too terribly much. And I'm just going to use that underneath the eyes. So it's really, really brightening, and once it's on the skin, I really can't see that glitter. Yeah, I really like that initially. I guess we'll see how it holds up throughout the day. I may take a touch of this right down the center of the nose where I highlighted as well. Yeah, that looks great. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to take this kind of red and brown we used in the crease, and I'm just going to use this on the lower lash line on a pencil brush and just sort of smudge that along. And then with the rest of the product wiped off, I'm just going to blend that really well so it's nice and soft and smoky and hazy. On the inner corner, what are we going to do? Let's just use this basic matte white. I'm trying not to blind you guys like crazy. And I'm just going to use this on the very inner corners. And even the white is fairly pigmented. It's not so much that it's, you know, going to be stark powdery white, but yeah, I can honestly say so far this palette has done nothing but impress me. I haven't chosen a bad shadow yet. On the brow, I'm just going to use a touch of face powder. This is from Rimmel. It doesn't really matter. I just want a matte kind of skin colored highlight to polish everything off. In the inner rims, I'm going to take a bit of Nude eyeliner. Now just going to really quickly curl my eyelashes. While I did not get a mascara, I got a mascara primer, so it's just a white eyelash primer, and I'm just going to use this on my eyelashes to see if it really, I don't know, makes them any longer. On top, I'm just going to use my Jordana Best Lash Extreme Mascara, which is my current favorite, so I'm going to see if this adds anything else. So far, I don't think it makes my eyelashes look any different with mascara. I like that it doesn't make them look gray. Like, sometimes you apply a white mascara primer and then put your black mascara on top and it just turns your eyelashes gray. So I like the fact that it didn't do that. A piece of trash just flew down from our roof. I don't even know how that happened. But I don't really think it's doing anything. Not that I can tell anyways. I'll have to actually test this and do like one eye with, one eye without. But right now I'm not really sure that it's making a difference. For eyebrows, I picked up this eyebrow kit in the shade Light, and it has a little plastic insert that I just took out, but it has a brow powder as well as an actual wax. So I guess we're gonna see if I like this. I've been using my Whitening Lightning kit, which I absolutely love. So I'm not quite sure this will beat it, but let's just take the brow powder on my usual brush and just start putting this in my eyebrows. Off the bat, I quite like it. It's not too terribly dark. It's fairly pigmented without being super duper so. I like it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it initially. No complaints yet. And then we'll use my e.l.f. Eyebrow Comb just to really quickly brush that through. So far so good. I'm going to take a bit of the wax just on my finger and kind of take that over the actual eyebrow. Okay, that was the eyebrow kit. Nothing bad to say. I liked it all right. I don't think it did any better or any worse than my current eyebrow products, except the fact that it's super duper freaking cheap. So yeah, I'm a fan. I'm going to powder off the face with a bit of this Physicians Formula BB powder. I don't know, it's a powder and it's in light/medium, so I'm just going to really lightly use this. Into bronzer and contour and the rest of the face. This is the entire blush/bronzer tray I have. I definitely got some other like face products. That was a huge chunk of this haul, but I think I'm going to stick to this just because I'm really curious to see how the bronzers work. I'm just going to take this brush into the first kind of matte bronzer. It looks a little bit light, but we'll see if it actually does anything. Yeah, that doesn't really show up on my skin while I'm tan. Okay, so instead of that, let's do the next color over, which is a little bit more orangey and has a tiny bit of shimmer, but we'll see if that's any better. Also just going to take a bit up into the actual forehead and hairline. This one's a bit too red for my skin, but I think a bit of blending will help it just look a bit better and a bit more natural. Using my contour brush and this next shade, which is a slightly more mauve-y version of the last one. It's a little bit darker and I think it's going to be good for contour. I swatched it and it looks like there's the tiniest bit of shimmer, but not a whole lot. I think it might be kind of mixed in from the other blushes. I'm just going to use this to contour my cheeks. And also just a bit underneath the chin to kind of hollow out the rest of my face. Same brush, I'm just going to kind of pinch it together and take it into the same brow powder. And I'm going to use this on the sides of my nose for a slightly lighter nose contour. These certainly aren't the worst contour powders I've ever used. I just feel like perhaps they're a bit warm. Maybe if I wasn't so tan, they would look a bit more natural or something. I just feel like with my tan, it just looks a tiny bit orangey. Not a huge deal, not anything too awful, but just something to point out. I'm also going to use a blush from this palette. I think I'm going to use this really pretty peachy pink. When I initially swatched these, they were fairly pigmented, so yeah, that's a really gorgeous color too. It just adds a really light flush to the cheeks without being too much. For highlight, I'm going to use this new baked highlighter that I have. It is in the shade Moonlight Pearl. So I'm just going to take this on my index finger because initially I swatched this and I thought it was a bit sheer, and I don't know how it would work with an actual like stippling brush. So we're just going to take it on the tops of the cheekbones. Also a tiny bit right here underneath that brow, right here down the center of the nose, and on the cupid's bow. And that's just fine. It's not the best highlighter. I like the color okay. I wish it was more pigmented, and I don't know where my stippling brush is. I'm just going to kind of blend that out a bit. I wish it was a bit more pigmented and not quite as sheer, not quite as powdery, but that's fine. Normally I would set off my makeup with a makeup setting spray, but I don't actually have one on me today. I left it downstairs in my car and I'm really lazy. So I'm going to be using this lipstick. This is in pink Minx and it is from the e.l.f. Moisturizing Lipstick range. And I have to tell you guys, for a range that claims to be moisturizing, these pull and tug at your lips worse than anything I have ever seen. If you have any dry skin whatsoever, it's really going to emphasize it, and I'm not 100% thrilled with it. Pigmentation is okay. I'm just going to give it a quick swatch so you guys can see. It's alright, it just, I don't find it's very moisturizing. So on top I'm going to use this conditioning balm, again from e.l.f., and I love that it has a little stopper to keep it from drying out. You want to keep things like that at all times. I'm just going to take this. By the way, this is in the color Peaceful Pink. Really pretty. I really like this so far, by the way, and it smells like coconut. And that is the finished look, so I'm going to zoom you guys in real quick so you can see it. Okay guys, so that is it for this Get Ready With Me, and I hope you all enjoyed it and that you found it kind of helpful. I will definitely be doing a full review tutorial with most of these really soon. I just needed to play around with them a bit before we got to that point, so if you did like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you have not already, and until my next video, I love you girls so much and I will talk to you very soon. Bye!